Yeah, this is Point Black coming in on a news break. News break hitting hard and off the card. Coming straight to the barrio with the flow. But this is a news break coming in from Point Black from an undisclosed location. So let's get that straight. You know what I mean? I'm always on it, like I told you, and I'm sure many other people are as well. But tonight, we have a news break coming in from Mrs. Bashar. You know what I'm saying? And we know what kind of mind frame she got, so we ain't worrying about her. But at the same time, she's coming in with some booty shit, and we need to check it because it's on the Grizzly. On the yeah, excuse me on that. It's on the Grizzly when you hit him with the one Twizzly. So we got to hit him hard while we at it. You know what I'm saying? Mrs. Bashir has just announced the racism, and we see what the intended target was in this whole operation of the racist, Luciferian, satanic, Marxist bullshit for the first time. Now we have a very clear view as to what is what this was really all about. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we look at Mrs. Bashir, she said, and I quote, wait a minute. Let's get that straight before we go any further, because we got to get the facts right. You know what I'm saying? I think her name is, and I guess a lot of people don't even like her, so I don't know why she was even saying anything at all. But she ran her mouth and exposed some things we need to know. Now, when we look at what she said, it is very racist, very racist on both sides of the state, whether you black or whether you white. But it do show a clear form of the shit that they will do to our country based on the garbage mentality that they have. You know what I'm saying? So Point Black had to come with this news break because it was said out her racist mouth. You know what I'm saying? And it says, Joyce Bashir coming from out her mouth, I should say, a Luciferian deep state, her Luciferian deep state mouth, you know what I'm saying? Like what she said sounds so good. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what she said coming from the Washington Examiner, you know what I'm saying? Washington Examiner on the satanic vibe. She said, well, actually, she's bold as she wanna be, as we see. But what she said is very interesting, and we have to take a look at that because it's important that we do. So if you're in the background, you need to get a piece of this. She said, and I quote, that black people should not be should not be hesitant of the treatment, the shot, because white people were the experiment. Now, what made Joyce Bashir think that black people even wanted to hear some garbage like that coming out of her mouth? You know what I'm saying? Is what is beyond me. You know what I'm saying? Why would you say that? So we so happy that you experimented on your own to give confidence to black people to take the treatment as we see. You know what I'm saying? She's saying that we should not be hesitant, you know what I'm saying, because white people was the experiment. You know what I'm saying? This is what Joyce Bashir is saying out of her mouth. You know what I'm saying? The View co-host, she was a co-host, I guess, a co-host. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now, what makes Joyce Bashir think that that was so reassuring to black people as to the game that you play. You know what I'm saying? That's the number one. Number two, now she's saying you experimented and it was an experiment. So you tell me who's who's now she's admitting, you know what I'm saying, on live, on the examiner, that it was an experiment that went down and black people shouldn't be hesitant because the experiment, white people was the experiment of this treatment. Now, what makes Mrs. Bashir so bold that she would say something like that is beyond me. And we need to really think about what she said. You know what I'm saying? If you co-host, now what makes her so sure? And that she think that black people is going to pick up on that and be so reassuring. Black people is not reassuring on a statement like that, so she needs to be kicked off the air and driven out of our country for once and for all. She's a Luciferian, a deep state, and a satanic Satanist, and probably a Marxist in full bloom. You know what I'm saying? She's admitting it was an experiment. You know what I'm saying? She's admitting, I repeat, it was an experiment. You know what I'm saying? It was an experiment. White people and all people in America should be very angry at her right now for a statement like that. And she should be kicked off the air and kicked out of our country. You know what I'm saying? They should be mad, very angry at that statement because it is racist in all ways. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? You really need to think about it. It's racist in all ways. What she said, you know what I'm saying? You need to think about it carefully. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, you know what I'm saying, her brains is on drugs. Like that commercial you used to see years ago when they used to say, this is your brain on drugs, and they show you an egg frying. Well, that was her brain. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, that was her brain on drugs. And the egg frying on the sidewalk, that was her brain on the drugs, as a matter of fact. That's a fact and point blank. Because I don't understand what would make her make a statement like that so boldly. You know what I'm saying? But it was said on the examiner, so we have to really look at where she's coming from. And when you really think about it, you know what I'm saying? This is crazy. You know, and this is who we, you know, as a, you know, when you look at it, let's put it this way, and this is who we listening to, you know, this is what we're listening to, you know, this is who we see and listen to. Mrs. Bashir, she is so un-American in all ways, a racist to the core. You know what I'm saying? A racist to the core, as we see. And this is something that's revealing, and she just revealed everything that went on in one shot. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, talking about how people are hesitant to get the vaccine and are hesitant to get treatment or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But we shouldn't be, because the experiment was done on white people. Like, we so happy to hear that. We happy to hear that you went and experimented on black people with an experiment of a vaccine, and then you use your people to try to set up black people, but now we know what was the intended target. You know what I'm saying? So we know the game has been played. Now, what made Mrs. Bashir, you know what I'm saying, on the Examiner news or whatever, as a co-host, would say something like that out her mouth is very shocking. You know what I'm saying? To say that we should not be hesitant as black people because the experiment was done on white people and they were the experiment, so we should be so sure and so happy as to go get the as to go get treatment and so on. But at the same time, we have to look at the whole thing as for what it is. When you make statements like that out your mouth, it goes to show that she was bold enough to reveal the truth for the first time. So we know where she coming from with this bull. And if you were listening to Point Black Station, you know what I'm saying, you would have known I had said that from a while back. You know what I'm saying? But I speak for all people and not just my people, but my people come first. Like I said in one of my lives that they took down. Now we're looking at the whole situation where she's trying to tell us to be so sure. But we're not going to fall for that garbage. She could take that bullshit on somewhere. And we need to find out more information into what she just said. Because when we look at the whole situation, it goes to show that everything I said on my channels and they kept blocking it and saying I was going up against the World Health Organization and people in the community were mad and they were calling saying I violated the Health World Organization goes to show that she and the rest of these deep state deep state satanic Luciferian Marxists and all this racist Ku Klux Klan garbage that they have been projecting is now coming to light. She ran her mouth. Now we're gonna say on my channel, it could be alleged, but as far as I looked at the news channel and seen it on the Examiner, you know what I'm saying, when I was going through my decks, you know what I'm saying, and saw that statement, it really revealed a lot that we needed to know. So Mrs. Bashir running her mouth, you know what I'm saying, thinking that she's going to be able to do this and do that, saying that she can't believe that only 46%, you know what I'm saying? If you're in healthy condition, what the hell is Mrs. Bashir talking about that we need? What the hell would we need? What would we need if we're healthy people and nothing is wrong with us? We're not sick, we have no symptoms, yada, 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 and the third. Why would you say something like that? That was very bold. But this is Point Black coming on our news break because we've got to start paying more close attention. We've got to do more investigation, and we damn sure got to make sure we stay on these lawmakers' head because they're coming with a whole lot of garbage, and the news medias is right down with them in the false and misinformation that they have been putting out as far as they're saying it was life-saving. Now, another thing Mrs. Bashir seemed to miss, even if it is true that white people were the experiment, what make you think that we are so happy to hear that bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Of what you have done to these people. What would make you think that we would be so happy to hear that it was an experiment on white people, so we should be so sure that everything is nice and safe and comfy and go get what they're telling us to get? We've got to look at this thing more openly because this is the height of all racist behavior in our country. And it goes to show that if she can say that, whether it's true or whether it's not, you know what I'm saying, and say that on the Examiner News and be so bold as to put it out there like that, that we must start to pay more close attention to the wicked behavior of these beasts. You know what I'm saying? All people matter. All people matter. We don't want to hear nothing about you experimenting on anyone based on the fact of you bringing in this Luciferian plan. You know what I'm saying? So Joe Biden is really guilty of high treason in America. For the first time, we have seen a full treason, and why it is they came down on Donald J. Trump to get him out of office so they can do this garbage. So it was an intended of a racist neo-Nazi, probably Ku Klux Klan, probably Marxist, satanic deep state garbage. So we've got to stay on their neck, you know what I'm saying, for her to reveal something like that, you know what I mean? And why would you say it on the Examiner and put it out there on the news? Doesn't make much sense, but it goes to show the type of mind frame that these people have in our country, coming from all directions and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You have people coming into the country, you know, and they want to take over this country, and they're in bed with these people. You know what I'm saying? We have to pay more close attention to our country as Americans rather than running scared and doing all kinds of garbage, arguing back and forth amongst each other when somebody can make a statement like Mrs. Bashir and say that black people shouldn't be hesitant because the experiment was done on white people first. That is a racist statement. You know what I mean? I know a lot of white people that probably lost loved ones that you know, lost loved ones and would not sit well, this would not sit well with them. So you use white people to set black people up? Is that what she's saying in this statement? What kind of statement is that? So this is a news break coming from Point Black. You know what I'm saying? With the facts, the crack backs, the heat from the street, and the flow from the barrio. You know what I'm saying? People, let's wake up. How long are you going to stay asleep? So stay strong, stay right, and I'll be back. Be wise, and I'll come back with another home hit. If you want to contribute to my channel, you can do so. You know what I'm saying? Or to my Cash App to keep me on their neck 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year on their neck as to what they're trying to do to our country. So stay strong, stay right, stay tight. One.